What's going on there, guys? This is Gabriel Soto, aka The Common Stray. I'm here at Royal Inn down here in Port Lavaca. Just decided to shoot a little YouTube video, bit of a rant. So let me just give an introduction to what this rant is going to be about. So, as many of my friends know, I am a diehard wrestling fan. My life has pretty much revolved on wrestling ever since I was about 6 years old. Whether it be WWE, TNA, now Impact, Ring of Honor, even the occasional New Japan. I am a diehard wrestling fan. I originally started out just watching as a kid, just loving it, just the drama that goes on with it, just watching these athletes put on such amazing matches and telling stories in that ring, and the showmanship that they had, the charisma, the larger than life characters they are, that they portray. Then slowly and slowly, I started getting more into the behind the scenes stuff, the business stuff, the backstage drama, and then I became introduced to the internet wrestling community. And pretty much this video is my opinions. This is my opinion, so don't think that I'm speaking for all wrestling fans or a specific group. This is just my opinions on what I think about a majority of the wrestling fans. Or as Triple H would say, the vocal minority. I do not know if it's a vocal minority or just a majority. But these are the people that you hear from the most. So here we go. So what got me thinking about this was, as many wrestling fans know, on January 4th, this past Thursday, here in the States, it was around 2 a.m., there was an event called New Japan. It was New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom, which is pretty much their WrestleMania. And one of the headlining matches was a match between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is a legend in the business, been doing this for decades now. Arguably, in my opinion, one of the top 10 to 15 greatest of all time, not just in-ring, but just all around. First ballot Hall of Fame, without a shadow of a doubt. So, but before the match, there was a fan who had tweeted him some fan art that he had drawn of Chris Jericho with his fallen brothers, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, on each side of him. Now, Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler of all time. This has nothing to do with him, but he's my favorite wrestler of all time. But Eddie Guerrero passed away in November of 2005, if I'm correct. Yeah, November. He passed away due to, I want to say it was pretty much a heart attack that was brought on from years and years of possible drug abuse and also what he did to himself in the ring. But what got me started on wanting to do this rant was the man on the other side of Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit. Now, Chris Benoit was a wrestler similar to Jericho and Eddie, did it for years. But Benoit, in 2006, there was something tragic that happened where we do not know the circumstances. All we know is that he killed his wife, his youngest son, and himself. Now, like I said, we know nothing about it. But the problem is that the media went and turned it into, oh, you see, these wrestlers are all drugged up, they're on steroids, their mind ain't right and stuff. Whenever, in fact, the drug tests they performed on him post-death showed that there was no drugs in his system. But what CAT scan showed actually was his brain. His brain was severely damaged from concussions from performing. So therefore, it's pretty much common. To the right people, it's common knowledge that Benoit was not in the right state of mind whenever he did these actions. And this is where the video is going to start. What happened with Benoit was tragic without a shadow of a doubt. WWE has erased him from history, and I'm not saying WWE needs to embrace him. But first of all, we cannot ignore outside of WWE, we cannot force people to not be able to acknowledge the greatness of what he did in that ring. Whenever Jericho shared this picture, this guy, I want to say Sean Sapp or some stupid fucking name. He's a wrestling reporter. He reports the news. He's an expert. He tweeted out pretty much, "Hey, don't forget Benoit killed his family and stuff." It's like, okay, guess what though? That doesn't mean Jericho's not allowed to dedicate this match to two of his best friends. Two of the top 20 greatest of all time. I mean, Benoit, the tragic thing about Benoit is all he ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. He never worked at McDonald's, never worked at a Blockbuster, never had a regular job even while he was training. All he wanted to do was be a professional wrestler, and that's what he did. For me, and I've discussed with many of the people, it is very tragic. It's sad that the business that he loved is the business that killed him and then forgot him. So, and it's partially, now did WWE do it? Yeah, but WWE had the right to. But it's also because the fans. Because the fans have this fucking pack mentality of the majority think this way, so I have to think this way. The majority of fans don't want to acknowledge how great of a wrestler he was, so I can't acknowledge how great of a wrestler he was. No, fuck that. If it would have been Benoit, nothing wrong with his brain, he just fucked off and murdered them and killed himself, then yeah. But this was a man who was sick. This was a man who, night after night, put his body on the line and for the fans, for the people that were buying a ticket to sit in that seat and watch him compete. There was never a night where he phoned it in. Me personally, I saw him live one time, and it was my first time seeing wrestling live, and I remember it was WWE No Mercy 2005. And Benoit fucking killed it that night, as he always did. And it pisses me off that these fans and that these wrestling reporters have to bring shit up like that. And it goes to the mentality of the fans. Pretty much what's wrong with wrestling today is the fans. Now, like I said, whenever I first watched wrestling, I was a little kid and I enjoyed the fuck out of it. And I miss those days. Not just because I was a kid, but because I could appreciate professional wrestling. I could appreciate what those men did in that ring. I could get into it without having to worry about, oh, well, why are they having Roman Reigns whenever he's won so much? I mean, I don't want him to be the guy. I want Sami Zayn to be the guy. No, I wasn't like that. No, I'm still like that to a point. But once you pull back the curtain, it's hard to close that curtain. And it sucks. Now for me though, I do everything I can to enjoy the show, enjoy what these men do in the ring. What these men do backstage with their interviews. But a lot of these fans don't. A lot of these fans think they know what's better for business. Mind you, none of these fans have, and I'm not saying I have, but none of these fans have ever set foot in a fucking ring. None of these fans have ever set foot backstage and had to book a show. Had to put together a match. None of them have ever done that, but yet these fans want to think that they know what's best for business. Now, yes, okay, it's okay to not like Roman Reigns. But whenever you don't like Roman Reigns and you don't even know why, then there's a fucking problem. Because you just don't like him. Because other fans don't like him. Because he pissed you off. Because he won the match that Daniel Bryan was supposed to win. At the end of the day, what these fans do is killing the business. What these smart marks do is destroying the very business they claim they love. Now, yes, there are certain smart marks out there that watch it and want to enjoy it. I know for me, I don't watch WWE just to see, oh, how bad is this going to be? No, I watch it because I want it to be good. I want to enjoy it. Impact Wrestling, which is down in the dumps right now, I still watch it every single week because I want it to be good. I want to be able to watch Impact and enjoy seeing the likes of John Morrison, now known as Johnny Impact, being able to enjoy the LAX, Ohio versus everybody, Alberto Patron. I want to be able to enjoy what these men do in that ring. I don't watch it with the intent of making fun of it. I watch it because I want to enjoy it. I want it to succeed. And a lot of fans watch it with the intention of wanting it to fail. Wanting the very thing that they are watching to fail because, oh, I want this company to succeed. No. That is not the right way to go about it. If you are a true wrestling fan, then you want wrestling to succeed. Just like if you're a true music fan, you want good music. You want it to succeed. You want it to. You want the art form to evolve and to become bigger. For me, I want wrestling to be like it was in the late 90s, where it was huge. You couldn't go into a store without seeing an Austin 316 t-shirt. You couldn't walk into a store without seeing an NWO t-shirt. Whenever Macho Man was fucking huge. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold The Rock. And the problem isn't that WWE doesn't know how to make stars. The problem is the fans are refusing to let them make stars. Roman Reigns, that guy is a fucking star. I'm sorry, but he's got the look. He's got that aura about him where he walks into him and you're like, holy shit, who's that guy? No other guys in WWE that could be stars. Yes, Shinsuke Nakamura. That man walks into an arena, he demands attention. Finn Balor. But here's the thing though. Vince has not proven us wrong yet. Vince was able to take what Hulk Hogan already was and make him into the immortal one, Hulk Hogan. If it wasn't for Vince, we wouldn't have ever heard those. We would not have ever heard those legendary lines of "Say your prayers and take your vitamins, brother." We wouldn't have heard that. Vince took what Macho Man was and turned him up to 10, gave him the platform they needed. Sorry, a little under the weather. Not to mention, doing those impressions hurts. Yeah, I'm drinking Arnold Palmer. Okay. We wouldn't have seen the likes of The Rock. If it wasn't for WWE, The Rock would not be where he is. Look at the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is Steve Austin as big of a star now as he is as The Rock? No. But Steve Austin is the biggest, if I'm correct, I want to say he is one of the top 3 biggest draws in wrestling of all time. Stone Cold already had some of the tools he needed back in WCW, and then we saw it in ECW. But Vince is great at being a filter. Roman Reigns, has Vince been proven on before? Yes. Originally, whenever Cena came in, Vince didn't see him as a fucking star. Now, I mean, everyone knows John Cena. But do you know what it was? What made Cena a star? Because Cena was willing to show Vince, hey, I can do this. He showed Vince charisma. Now, is Reigns as over the top as the likes of Shinsuke or Finn Balor? No. But Roman doesn't need to be. Here's the thing. Shinsuke and Finn, they will get their moment. But right now, fans, I can understand if you don't like him just because you don't like his character, you don't like his antics, okay. But at this point, though, a lot of fans don't even remember why people initially hate Roman Reigns. And that's because these fans don't fucking think. These fans want what they want and won't accept anything else. Nothing else. And that is the problem. The very fans that are booing the likes of Brock Lesnar are the same fans whenever he came back and attacked John Cena were fucking jizzing their pants. Okay? These same people who chant CM Punk are part of the reason why CM Punk is no longer there. Okay? So wrestling fans out there, just sit back and turn off that fucking smart mark switch of yours and just sit back and enjoy the show. And don't even get me started on the fans who are at these shows and ruin it. These fans that paid, I understand you paid your ticket. You paid for your ticket to sit your ass in that seat. But for fuck's sake, you go there and you take fucking beach balls? That is beyond disrespectful to those men and women in that ring. That you can't wrestle. Those chants, yeah, guess what? They can't fucking wrestle. That's why they are there, and that is why you are in your seat, eating a fucking hot dog and having some fucking popcorn and 3 beers next to you, fucking fat slob. Am I want to talk? No, I'm fat too. But guess what? I sit back and I enjoy that fucking show. I enjoy it. I get into it. I get lost in that moment. But for these fans that want to sit back and armchair quarterback these fucking matches, fuck you. Unless you have set foot in that ring, unless you have had a whiff of what the real wrestling business is like behind the scenes, then you have nothing to fucking talk about. So to all you smart mugs out there who think you can do a better job than Vince McMahon, think you can do a better job than Triple H, then guess what? Fuck you. Because for all I care, you can turn it off. You can unsubscribe from the WWE Network no matter what. I don't care. But I will be damned if while I'm watching Raw